Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, an assembled company, welcome once more to the World Storytelling Cafe. And tonight we have an amazing array of young tellers. And we are actually going to start, and I'm going to ask Nick to introduce a play from Palestine, by children in Palestine. Fantastic, the wonders of the internet. And but we have a request that everyone during the play, or when Nick gives us the signal, turns off both their video and mutes themselves. So we just see, listen, so we are in our virtual theatre, just watching the play. And Nick, I'm passing over to you. And when the player's finished, if people can just sort of signal if they want to tell a story tonight as we go on, because we don't know lots of you. I know Althea, who's sitting there, and there'll be, but we need to know if you want to tell a story. But for now, Nick, can you introduce these wonderful people you've brought along with you?
I can, but before I do that, could you please make me the host, Julia? If you could make me the host, that would be fantastic. And that's brilliant. Okay, so before I introduce the play, I'd just like to talk very briefly about a technical point, and that is this. Because this is a play with 4 different actors, you will have a much better experience if you turn off your camera, if you're not in the play, if you turn off your microphone, and also if you click on this option which says hide non-video participants. So that you get to that by clicking on the little arrow next to stop video. Yeah. And then you'll see all of those options, video settings, and you click on, you make sure it's ticked where it says hide non-video participants. Then you won't see all those boxes with people's names in and things like that. And you'll just see the actors. I'm going to admit that person to the room. Okay, so let me stop that now. And I need to just do something else technical. Okay. Right, now, so this is a play which is based on a traditional Palestinian story called The Farmer Who Followed His Dream. And it's going to be performed by 4 girls from Beit Hanun, and it's organized by their teacher, Hannah Mansour. And it's come as a great surprise to me. This play is about a village called Siris, which is in the north of Palestine in Jenin. And it's a great surprise to me that we actually have somebody in the room who lives near that village.
Yes.
Haneen.
I am Haneen. I live in Al Jadida.
Al Jadida.
Hello, everyone.
You're very welcome, Haneen.
Thank you.
So, okay, so if we could now make sure everyone's turned off their webcams and their audio if they're not in the play. And if you can click on hide non-video participants, that will also be great. Right, is everyone ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
We're ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghazal, Hala, sorry Nick for interrupting.
We're all ready.
Yeah, just making sure. Ghazal,
Yes,
Hala,
we're ready.
Yara, Samah. Great, yeah. So we're ready. Let's start.
Everyone's ready? Okay.
Yeah. Naya, would you turn off your camera? Turn off your camera, please. And Lana and Tala, would you turn off your camera? Yep. Everyone, please.
Okay, we've got a few people in the waiting room. Should we just let them in before we start? That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Would you please all turn off your cameras, please? Rahaf, Hala, and Dina. Turn off the camera.
Rahaf, please turn off your camera. Rahaf.
Rahaf.
Okay. Everyone who's
Now it's
just
my
joined
time.
us,
Turn off the camera.
if you could please turn off your cameras. James, could you please turn off your camera just while we have this performance? James, could you please turn off your camera just for this performance? Thank you. Okay, we all ready? Hala?
Hala, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great, Hala. Okay,
Then-
let's start. 1, 2, 3.
There was once a poor farmer who lived with his wife and 7 children in a village called Ceres. Their farm had a small garden with vegetables and herbs and 2 lemon trees in front of their house. They worked hard every day, but still they had very little money. One morning, the farmer looked very worried when he came down to breakfast.
What is the matter? Why do you look so worried?
Last night, I had a strange dream. I dreamed that I went to Damascus Gate in Jerusalem. And when I got there, I just had to wait.
Wait? Waiting for what?
I don't know. I just had to wait.
Well, it's just a dream. Don't worry about it.
But that night, when the farmer went to bed, he had the same dream again. And the next night, it happened again. On the third morning, he decided he had to go to Jerusalem.
But why? It's just a dream. It will take you 4 days to walk there.
I must go. I want to find out what I'm waiting for.
You need to stay here and work and help me look after the children.
I'm sorry. I must go.
So the farmer took a small bag with some bread and olives and water, and he started to walk to Jerusalem. After 4 long days of walking, he arrived and he found Damascus Gate and stood there and waited. Jerusalem was full of people saying thanks, but the farmer had no money.
Hot coffee?
No thanks.
Flowers?
No thanks.
Bananas, oranges, avocados, apples?
No thanks.
After 3 days of waiting, he was just about to give up and go home when an old man walked over to him.
Hey, you!
Me?
Yes, you! I've been watching you for 3 days. Just standing there, not buying anything. Waiting. Can I ask you, why are you here?
When the farmer told him about his dream, the old man started to laugh.
You are crazy? Dreams aren't real. You shouldn't listen to your dreams. You know, I had a crazy dream every night for a week. In my dream, there was a farmer's house in a place called Cerise. It was 4 days' walk from there. Outside the house, there were 2 lemon trees. Between the lemon trees, there was a box of treasure buried. In my dream, I saw myself digging up the treasure and becoming rich. But it's just a crazy dream. Dreams aren't real. If I were you, I'd go back home to my family.
Thanks for your advice. I will go home.
The farmer walked back to his house. Actually, the farmer ran back to his house.
You came back? Did you know what are you looking for in your mysterious dream?
I'm afraid we've lost Ghazal.
No, we'll continue.
What is her?
I've come.
Yeah, great. Can you repeat, Yara? Repeat with
Okay.
Ghazal again.
You came back? Did you know what are you looking for in your mysterious dream?
No, but where is my Spain?
What is he doing? This man is crazy.
I'm not crazy. You will see now.
When he got there, he found his spade and he started digging between the two lemon trees. And soon he found a big box. And when he opened the box, he found
Treasure?
treasure.
Look. Now we are rich.
Yes, we're rich.
and the farmer and his wife and their 7 children lived happily ever after. So the dream wasn't crazy? Yes, it was real. Dreams are real. We should listen to our dreams sometimes.
Last night when I lay down, slept in my bed, the strangest dream came into my head. I dreamed that I went to Damascus gate, and when I got there, I just had to wait.
It's just a dream. It's just a dream. Things aren't always what they seem. Go to Jerusalem and have some fun. Leave me here in the burning sun.
Last night when I lay down, slept in my bed, the strangest dream came into my head. I dreamed that I went to Damascus gate, and when I got there, I just had to wait.
It's just a dream. It's just a dream. Things aren't always what they seem. Go to Jerusalem and have some fun. Leave me here in the burning sun.
I am back from Damascus gate, and I have some news that's really great. The dream can be true. We both can be free. There's a treasure under the tree.
Dreams can be true.
Dreams can be true.
Dreams can be
True.
Bravo! Bravo!
Oh, that was
Terrific.
fantastic. That was fantastic. Thank you. Now, everyone, before we carry on, you can now that I know some people have put hide non-video participants. We can go back and take that off so we can see everyone and we can see who's here. And I just want to say that we had 2 participants on here. We've got James and we've got Althea, wherever you are, wave, and they both live in the east of England, and about 40, they don't live in the same towns, but about 40 or 50 kilometers from where they live, there's another story that is almost exactly the same. It has the same sequence, but it's set in a small Norfolk town in England. So we have the same story in Palestine and in England. So one of you next, it would be great if one of you next week, you know exactly the story I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know the story I'm talking about, Althea. James, do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, isn't it the Peddler of Swaffham?
It is indeed. And so maybe one of you next week would love to tell us the Peddler of Swaffham, which would be fantastic. But for right now, we're going to stay with Palestine because we have the tellers from Palestine on first, because in case the electricity goes off or something similar to that. So David, well, first of all, is there anyone who wants to tell a story? Who wants to tell a story that maybe David doesn't know? Okay, David, I'm passing over to you, and you can introduce your people.
I'm sure there'll be some more storytellers, but I'm going to introduce a wonderful young storyteller called Hala Birkat, and Hala is going to perform her story with her teacher, Hend Kata, accompanying her on the oud. Aren't we lucky? And maybe it's a good idea to go back to hide non-video participants so we can really focus.
Actually, I said, David, I'm going to argue with you. Excuse
Okay.
me. Am I allowed to argue with David, everyone?
No.
Yes.
All right then,
really
John.
Nice to the play. It works very well, but when you're telling, we are like sitting in a circle where we can see other people's faces. We are not in a theatre. We are in a story circle, albeit a virtual one. So
All right,
I'm
then.
arguing with you, David, and overruling you. Yes.
Very well, John. No problem. Okay, so Hala, are you ready?
Yeah.
So this is Hala Berkat, everybody, from Gaza. Over to you, Hala and Hend.
Yes. Once upon a time, and a very long ago, there was a city called Tashkent. Tashkent was the richest city in the world. The treasures of all around the world were found there. And as a result, the ruler of the city was the richest man ever. He was young and he has an assistant called Mansour, who was always with him. The ruler was feeling bored. He wants something exciting to do, something he'd never done before. So he asked his assistant Mansour to find that for him. Mansour announced all around the city that the ruler would give a prize to anyone who could suggest something exciting to do, something never done before. One day, a wizard came to the ruler, Need, and said, "My name is Kashunol, and I have something amazing for you. Look at this amazing box." The ruler replied, "But this is only a little box." The wizard said, "Yes, but inside this box there is a magical black dust who could turn any human being into an animal." The ruler replied, "So the one who turned into an animal could understand what the animal said?" The wizard opened the box and said, "Yes, if you sniffed the dust and said, 'Mutambul,' you will immediately turn into any animal you like." The wizard sniffed the dust and said, "Mutambul," and he immediately turned into a lion. The ruler and his assistant was astonished. Then the wizard said, "And if you want to turn back into human, all you have to do is turn east and bow 3 times and said, Mutambul. The ruler said, Amazing, I will buy it from you. The wizard replied, But sir, there is one thing you need to know before you buy it. When you are under the spell, do not laugh, or else you will forget the word that would turn you back into human again, and you will stay in the shape of animal for the rest of your life. The ruler replied, Okay, I will remember that. I won't laugh. The young ruler decided to try the magic with his assistant Mansur. So they both went out to the garden of the palace to look for the animal they would like to turn into. And while looking around, they found 2 storks. Mansur said, Sir, those 2 storks must have something exciting to tell. The ruler replied, Okay, let's turn into storks then. They both sniffed the dust and said, Mutambu, and they both transformed into storks. The bad wizard was watching them stealthily with an evil smile on his face. The ruler and his assistant hid behind a tree near the other 2 storks to hear what they were saying. The first stork said, Oh, what a lovely long legs you have, my friend. Are you having dinner? The other storks replied, Yes, this frog looks delicious, yummy. The other stork replied, Oh, as for me, I'm not going to have a dinner. I'm on a diet. I want to get ready for the ballet performance. The stork spun around in a really funny way and fell to the ground with a crash. The ruler and his assistant began to feel something in their belly. Are they going to laugh? And then they burst out of laughing. The ruler and his assistant cried out, Oh no, we laughed. What should we do now? They tried hard to remember the word, but they couldn't. They were helpless. One day, the 2 storks were flying when they heard people cheering and saying, Long live the new ruler! Long live the new ruler! The ruler said, What's ruler do the people mean? I'm stork now. So they flew around the parade to surprise to see Kashonol being crowned as a new ruler. They cried and regretted what they had done. So they left the city and away and flew. They began a journey they never knew how it's going to end. More months passed until one day the 2 storks were flying when they came across a castle. It was scary. So they flew into the castle when they heard a girl voice. She was crying. So they followed the voice, and all of a sudden, They found an owl crying at the window. The ruler said to the owl, "Oh, poor owl, what are you crying about?" The owl replied, "Oh, I'm not an owl, I'm a princess. That bad wizard Kashanol turned me into an owl because I refused to marry him." The ruler replied, "Oh, I know that bad wizard Kashanol. He turned me and my assistant into a storks, and now we can't remember the word that would turn us back into human again." The owl replied, "Oh, this is the castle of Kashanol. He owned this castle, and actually tonight he's going to have a party to celebrate with his friends. In fact, he's a new ruler now, the ruler of your own city. And tonight he will tell your story to his friends, and he might say the word." The ruler replied, "Oh, please take us there where he will celebrate." The owl replied, "I will take you there under one condition." The ruler and his assistant replied, "What is it?" The owl replied, "The condition is one of you should marry me so the spell is broken and I can finally turn back into human again." The ruler and his assistant got nervous. They didn't want to marry an owl. The ruler whispered, "Mansoor, you will marry the owl." Mansoor whispered, "No, sir, you'll marry the owl." And then finally Mansoor said out loud, "Okay, owl, the ruler will marry you." The night came and the party started. The owl led the ruler and his assistant to the party hall and they hid there. The wizard and his friends came and they were drinking and eating and joking about what they did to the ruler of the rich city. The wizard friend said to the wizard to tell the story again. And while the wizard telling the story, he said, "They should turn east and bow 3 times and said Mutambul, but they will never remember that because they laughed." Then the ruler cried out, "Oh, I know the word now." The wizard and his friend saw and jeered the ruler. The wizard cried out, "Chase them! Catch them before they break the spell!" The ruler and his assistant were running away, nervously trying to break the spell. "Oh, where's the east? It's dark here in the castle." The ruler and his assistant were running away nervously when the wizard said, "Now I can kill you both." The wizard had a bow and arrows, and as just he about to shoot the ruler, the sun began to rise. The sun rays could distract the wizard, so the ruler and his assistant immediately turned east and bow 3 times and said Mutambul, and they finally human again. And the wizard and his friends transformed into storks. The ruler and his assistant cried out, "Yay, we're humans now!" Oh, but where's the owl? The ruler said. The ruler and his assistant searched and looking around for the owl. To their surprise, they found a very beautiful lady. The ruler was amazed by her beauty. The beautiful lady said, "Oh, thank you very much. But yeah, it's me, Owl." The ruler was fascinated by her beauty. The ruler whispered to Mansoor, "Mansoor, I've decided to marry this lady. What do you say?" The ruler went back to his castle with his assistant and a beautiful wife.
Wow, Hala, that was absolutely fantastic storytelling. Yesterday,
Thank
Hala
you.
and Hend, you told me that story and I loved it. But today, when you told the story, Hala, it was even better. Absolutely wonderful storytelling.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Brilliant.
much.
Right. David, do you have anyone else?
Well, I'm sure there are lots of people here from Palestine, and I'm surprised if there isn't somebody who wants to tell a story. So who would like
Just
to
wave,
tell us
just
a
wave.
story?
Wave if you want to tell a story.
Wait.
It could be a very short story, or it could be
a
any
poem.
kind of story.
Me.
Farah,
Yes.
is that right, Farah? Would you like to tell a story?
Yes.
Farah, please go ahead. We are listening.
Hi.
Hi, Farah.
I want to tell a story. Today I'm going to tell you about Zarifatul tale. One day there was a young, handsome, lank man. He lived in a small village in Palestine before decades. Zarifatul worked as a carpenter with his uncle, so he did not earn much from his job. However, he was a very generous man with guests and neighbors. And he was a very brave man. He fought the enemies and also with friends and other people against occupation. All the girls in his village were competing who will marry him. But he did not like any one of them. He just fell in love with a very beautiful girl called Ataba. Zarifatul went to Ataba's father and said, I want to marry your daughter. But Ataba's father refused because Zarifatul was very poor. So Zarifatul decided to leave the city, to forget about his beloved woman. So when Attabas heard about this, she was very sad and sat on the pavement waiting for him. Luckily, one of the wise men in the city heard about their story and went to Attabas' father and said, Zarifatul is the ideal man for your daughter. And they got married in a big party.
Farah, well done. Well done. That was wonderful, wonderful storytelling.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Farah. Now, is there anyone else from Palestine who wants to tell a story? David,
Yes,
can you see
me.
anyone?
Yeah, but I don't want to tell a story, but I want to add information about series from my village.
I have a story.
Great.
Well, let's
Okay, yes,
have the
please.
information first and then the story. Okay,
Yeah.
so Hala, you're first.
Was
Who
it?
was it?
I think it was Haneen. Is that right?
Yes, I am Haneen, yes.
Haneen,
Right.
please tell us.
Yes. Siris is located from my village 2 kilometers, and it is located on the south and west sides, and we live with each other as one large village. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, Haneen.
Thank you.
That's
Beautiful
very, very
information.
interesting.
Could you
Yeah.
take a picture, please, Haneen, one day, and will you send it to me? A picture of
Yes.
Cerise. I would love
I
to.
will. I will, inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hala, Hala has got a hand up.
Hala, would you like to tell us a story, Hala?
Me?
Hala Al-Faram.
Yeah. I have a song. Can I sing it?
Yeah.
Wow, yes, please.
Okay. I have a dream, a song to sing, to help me go with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future, even if you fail. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels. When I know the time is right for me, I cross the street. I have a dream. That's it.
Thank you, Hala. That's a beautiful song and beautifully sung. Thank you.
So I have another song.
Yara, you would like to sing us a song?
Yeah?
Let's listen to Yara's song.
Okay. Here comes a wave meant to wash me away, a tide that is taking me under. Swallowing sand left with nothing to say, my voice drowned out in the thunder. But I won't cry, and I cannot start to crumble. Whenever they try, shut me and cut me down, I won't be silent. You can't keep me quiet. Won't tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless, 'cause I know that I won't go speechless, speechless. Try to lock me in this cage, I will just lay me down and die. I will take these broken wings and watch me burn across the sky. And the echo saying that I won't be silent. You can't keep me quiet. Won't tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless. 'Cause I know that I won't go speechless, speechless.
Yara, you will never be speechless. You have your voice here. We are listening. Thank you so much for that wonderful singing.
Thank you.
Is there another story?
I have a story, but it's not tall, short story.
Please tell us a short story.
The name of the story, Two Friends and the Fur. Vijay and Raju were friends. On a holiday, they went walking into a forest, enjoying the beauty of nature. Suddenly, they saw a big bear coming at them. They became frightened. Raju, who knew all about climbing trees, ran up to a tree and climbed up quickly. He didn't think of Vijay. Vijay had no idea how to climb trees. Vijay thought for a second. He'd heard animals don't prefer dead bodies. So he fell to the ground and held his breath. The bear sniffed him and thought that he was dead. So it went on its way. Raju asked Vijay, "What did the bear whisper into your ears?" Vijay replied, The bear asked me to keep away from friends like you. It's end.
Thank you, Sama.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So we're
Thank you,
going
Sama.
to
Thank you.
we're going to James now. Now James lives. Well, you can tell us where you live, James.
In England. I live in England, near the in East Anglia, Suffolk. Except I'm going to tell a story all the way in Canada.
I want to sing a song.
Sorry, am I starting?
Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So before there was any light, there used to be no light. Everyone and everything had to feel out for specific things like rocks and trees and bumps in the ground. All because the sky chief who lived up in the castle had kept like the light all in a small box on the shelf. Now, Raven, who was a bird in mythology, was very angry about this. He was also curious. He's never seen the world with light before. So he went up to and stared at the Sky Chief's castle, and down came the Sky Chief's beautiful daughter, who was carrying a bucket to fetch some water from the nearest spring. The raven followed her scent, and then, while she was collecting some water, the raven turned into a tiny pine needle and blowed and rode on the breeze across into her bucket. But when the Sky Chief's daughter got back, they drank the water, and the pine needle went smoothly down her throat. So then, into a baby inside the Sky Chief's daughter, and when eventually, after he was born, some raven black eyes and the sort of and a beaky nose. When but the Sky Chief who was absolutely charmed by him. He had everything he wanted, and like a good son. But after living as a baby for a few weeks, he went and he managed to feel the box on the shelf and took it quickly, but the Sky Chief kept taking it off him, so he cried and cried and cried until the Sky Chief gave it in and gave him the box. As soon as it was in his hands, he transformed right back into a raven and picked the ball of light out and flew straight out of the castle, but he travelled all across the world with the ball of light. Halfway through, he dropped a bit of it, which shattered into thousands of pieces, becoming all the stars and the moon. And during the rest of his travels, once he's made a full circle of the earth, and he threw the ball into the sky, and that's what became the sun. And that's how we have our sun like today. Except the sun still goes around it in the sky because because the raven shot ran the earth and the sky kept its pulse in the sky. The end.
Well done, James.
Thank you, James. Now we're going to stay for a minute in the east of England. We're going to go to Althea. Althea, you're in another town altogether. Could you tell us where you are, please?
I'm in Norwich in England.
And are you going to tell us a story?
Yes.
Please do.
So once upon a time there lived a husband and wife. The the wife's name was Florence and the husband's name was Derek, and they lived in the middle of nowhere in a little cottage, and it was a stormy night, and it was raining, and there was lightning, and it was really windy that it felt like their cottage was going to suddenly crash, and it was 30 minutes till midnight, and they were just getting into bed and about to read their books, but then there was 3 knocks at the door, and it was usually Derek who answered the door. And after a few seconds of him not answering it, Florence looked over at him and said, "Why aren't you answering it?" And he said, It's 30 minutes till midnight. Why would I do it now?" And there was another 3 knocks. And Florence said, It sounds urgent. Maybe you should go down and see who it is. So he sat up and got out of bed and put on his dressing gown and stomped downstairs and opened the door. And it was so dark that he couldn't see anybody. So he said, "Hello," and there was a voice from the dark saying, "Hello," and Derek said, "What do you want?" And the person from the dark said, "I need a push." And Derek said, "You need a push at this time of night? No way." And he slammed the door in the person's face, and stomped back upstairs and got into bed. And Florence looked over at him and said, "So who is it?" And Derek said, "Just some silly person who wants a push." And Florence said, why didn't you give him one?" And Derek said, it's very late, and why would he need a push at this time of night? Why would he even be driving a car at this time of night? And Florence said, "Maybe you should go and give him a push. Remember that time when we were on the way back from Judy's and Tim's wedding, and we broke down on the way, and some kind people helped us and gave us a push, and we got home safely." And Derek said, "Yes, I remember." So he got back up and stomped downstairs again and opened the door and said hello, and a voice from the dark said hello, and Derek said, "Are you still there?" And the voice said yes, and Derek said, "Do you need a push?" The voice said yes, and Derek said, where are you?" And the voice said, "I'm on the swing."
Very good, Elsie.
Brilliant. Thank you, Elsie. Brilliant. Oh, right now, is there anyone else? I think I heard someone earlier say they'd like to sing another song. Were my ears deceiving me, David, or is that what I
I think
heard?
you're right. I think Dina wanted to sing a song.
I
Is that
want
right?
to sing a song. I
Okay,
am Dina.
Dina,
Please do.
please continue.
Yes. Yeah.
Dina, would you like to sing?
How? Yes. How can I keep on smiling when I see the child is crying, empty glass in its hand, and the lip like burning fire? How can we keep on singing if we know that a friend are thirsty when there's no clean drink water for drink water for drink water for hand in hand watching the water, hand in hand will build the future, raising up voices to reach the sky, hand in hand let's sing and dance. Hand in hand, watching the world. Hand in hand, we'll build the future. Raising our voices to reach the sky. Hand in hand, well, let's sing and dance.
Thank you, Dina.
Thank you, Dina.
I have a poem to say. Can I?
Ghazal, yes, please.
I have my own dreams and my own desires, something for which I'm keen, want to set the world in fire. But you are the one who is stopping me for who I really want to be. What you said ain't my will, and I know I don't have such skills. You tell me to have a name. I have it. Still you blame. Don't accept me to be the same. You are just bothered about your fame. I can't keep walking in your shoes. My dreams are something I don't want to lose. I want to follow my heart, but you are letting the dreams apart. I don't want to follow the crowd. I have a dream. Heart, it's too loud. I know my dream had a good scope. I surely succeed. I still have hope. At last, don't let your dreams apart. Whatever happens, just follow your heart. That's it.
Great, Ghazal.
Well done.
Thank you, Ghazal.
Just follow your heart.
Follow your heart. Yes.
Wonderful, Ghazal.
Thank you.
John, we're not hearing you at the moment.
That was because I was on mute. How very polite of you, David, to put it like that instead of just shouting, "Unmute yourself."
Well, I decided to be polite now because I was a bit rude earlier, John.
That's okay. Everyone has a license to be rude to me. That's okay. yeah, you're welcome to do whatever you like in the house. You know, eat, drink, be merry, and tell stories. But above all, tell stories, sing songs, give us poems. And you have been absolutely amazing tonight. Could you all give yourself a big, huge round of applause?
Yay!
You brighten my week. You bring sunshine to my week this Tuesday nights. So please visit us again on of a Tuesday. I mean, I just think thank you all the children and young people that told and did their plays tonight. Thank you for the teachers and parents that brought them to us. And thank you, David and Nick, for your efforts, and the audience, of course. Without people to listen, who would we tell stories to? Who would we sing our songs to? And who would we do our plays to? So thank you, and see you next week. Fantastic.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
the wonderful
Bye.
stories. Goodbye.
Thank you, Ali, for driving
Tell
the
your
bus.
friends and they can listen to you again on the recording.
Thank you, my
Thank
friend.
you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Loved it.
Welcome.
Loved you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 مع
Bye,
السلامة.
Judy.
Bye.
My friends, John, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you again next week.